Hi, I'm Kat and I play red. It may not surprise you to learn that we own a lot of games. So when I play something that I quite fancy, I have a look. Some games I'll instantly buy. Others, I'm kind of on the lookout for a bargain. This game was one of those. And last year at Essen, I got my bargain. This is Fertility. Now in the UK, it's between £30 and £35. At Essen last year, we picked up Min-Amun, which is the German version, for a bargain, €16. And it's language independent. Excellent. Let's have a look at how it plays. The Pharaoh has put you in charge of a metropolis and its region. The flooding of the Nile is coming to an end and the lands of the valley are ready to offer their riches. Organise the collection of resources, build districts with the most lucrative shops, supply them with goods and earn the most debons for the glory of the Pharaoh. The player who makes the best use of the resources of the Nile Valley wins the game. The main board here is made up of these smaller pieces. Depending on player count, depends on how many you use. For 2 or 3 players, we're using 3. You can place these however you want and then just use these little bone pieces and pop them in there to secure the board. So you've got a changing board depending on the player count and how you put it out, which is quite nice. So we put them in a random order and then we're going to place the starting tile here randomly on the starting square on the middle piece. So each of the boards has got one of these spaces and we're going to start on the middle one and just randomly pop that there. The number of players will determine the number of these valley tiles that we're going to use through the course of the game. For 2 players, we're using 24. Each player draws 3 and places them face up in front of them, and then we're going to have 3 in the common pool or marketplace or, oh my goodness, whatever you want to call that. Lots and lots of marble there. Each player takes a metropolis board, pops it in front of them, puts their wheat token on the 0 of the wheat track and the 4 monuments of their chosen player colour. I'm going to move these over because the other thing we need is 4 of these shop tiles in the display. So pop those there. On their turn, a player follows the 3 steps of their turn. Firstly, they're going to place one of the valley tiles onto the board and gain the resources. Then they can choose to build one of the district tiles and then supply shops in their metropolis. So the first step, and the only one that is mandatory, is to place a tile and gather resources. You can only place your tiles on the desert squares, not on the water or the wheat, and you can't overlap. Pretty obvious stuff. You must connect to another tile and you must make at least 1 match. So let's have a look and place one of my tiles. What would I like? Goodness. I think I'm going to place this tile. Now this starting square has one of each resource. I'm going to place this cattle next to that cattle. Now all matching connections will give you one resource of that type. So that's a cattle, and they just go to the side of your board for now. If you touch a wheat square, you're going to gain wheat. Now, if I'd pop that there, I'd get 2 wheat and so on and so forth. But here, I just get the 1, so I move up 1 on my wheat track. Also, with this placement, I've covered up an item here. So I'm going to gain that, and that is, in fact, another cattle. So take that and pop that by the side of my board. So all the resources you gain through the turn, other than your wheat, are just going to go to the side of your board for now. If you are lucky enough, let's just pop some other tiles down for now. If when placing a tile, you create an enclosed space like this, a quarry, you can choose to either place one of your monuments there or take a wild resource. So one of your choice from the 4 available resources. Now, monuments are going to give you potentially points at the end of the game. So take these off because for now, I've just placed this tile. After placing a tile and receiving all its benefits, you can choose to build a district tile from the display. Now you don't have to, but your turns are quite limited in this game, so you might want to. So you're going to pay the cost shown in the top corner, and that might be wheat, or it could be the resources that you've put by the side of your board for now. You can never pay resources that are already on your board, so you can only use these resources. So let's have a look and see which of these I'd like. Now I've got a lot of cows, moo, so I think I'm going to take one of these. Let's have a look. For now, I'm going to take this tile, which cost me 0, and I'm just going to place that onto my player board. Doesn't matter where. If your player board is full, you're not going to be able to take any more tiles. Now, your player board has room for 7. The game is played over 9 rounds, so there will be 2 turns where you don't place one. Whether you choose to take one of these tiles or not, you've now got to place any resources that you took this turn onto your Metropolis board. Now, this is quite an obvious one. I'm going to place a cow there. Oops. Cow there, and my wheat goes up by 1, and a cow there, and my wheat goes up by another. Any resources that you have left by the side of your board at the end of your turn will be discarded. So make sure you use them or lose them. Now, there's a few different types of tile. Now, this one here is pretty obvious. I place a cow on there and I'm going to get a wheat. And we've actually got some really good examples of the other available tiles here. So this one here, if I place a cow on there, at the end of the game, I will get 1 point for every cow I have on my board anywhere. So that one's actually quite nice. Let's restock this and see. Perfect. This one here, if I place grapes on it, at the end of the game, I will get 4 points. Both of these, I place the resources shown, and I'm going to get the specific gods. This one here has also got that additional bonus, which is why it's got a cost. The gods are a set collecting element. The more different gods you have, the more points you'll get at the end of the game. So those are actually our 3 types of tile. Never normally works like that. So once you've placed your shop, you've placed your resources, you're then going to restock your valley tiles. Now this lot's all a bit rubbish. I'm going to take this one, and then this gets restocked. I was going to say please no more marble, and it didn't work. So play will continue with players taking it in turn to place tiles, place the shops, and draw tiles. When there are not enough valley tiles left to refill the supply, everyone will get 1 more turn, and then the game will end. So it's 9 turns in total. So I'm just gonna play a couple more rounds to show you how it works. I actually know I want cows because of this, and then obviously that would be a nice addition. So I'm actually going to pop that there, which would give me another cow because I'm matching there, and because I'm on that next to that wheat space, I'm going to get another wheat. So at this point I am going to take that tile, which cost me 0. I can place my cow wherever I like. So just because this is a tile I've placed this turn doesn't mean I have to place on it. So my one little cow I've got, I could choose to place here or on these spots on my board. But for now, I'm going to pop that there and move my wheat up. So that restocks. I'm going to take another tile. These are all rubbish. I'm going to take one from the middle this time, and yay, hope it's not more marble. So let me look. I'm going to go there. Gosh, I'm going crazy for wheat. It's another wheat, and that would be a marble. And on that grounds, I think I'm going to take this tile, which cost me 1 resource. Now, I could choose to use this marble I've got, but at the moment, I've got quite a lot of wheat. So I'm actually going to spend a wheat for that, pop that down, and pop that marble onto there. So that marble will give me 3 points at the game end. So we've placed tiles, there's none left to fill the display up with, and we're going to move on to game end scoring. So we have a little score pad here, so we can go through and have a look at this. So the first thing you're going to score here is the generic shop points. So here I would get 3 points for this space here. However, because I didn't place anything here, I wouldn't get those 7 points. So, oops, I'm knocking my cows about. This one here would get me 2. So and a 3 there. So I would get 3, 6, 8 points for my generic shop points. So that would be here. Then we're going to score the specialised shops, which are these ones here. So because I have a cow here, each cow on my board is worth 1 point. So that would give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. So I'd get 7 points for my cows. The next thing you'll score for is your gods bonus. Now, every player board has this little wild god up here. So I have 1, 2. I didn't actually complete either of those, so they wouldn't count. However, I've got 1 there for 3 and 1 there for 4. And are they all different types? 1. Yes, so they're 4 different types. So I'm just going to have a look on this chart here, and 4 different gods would give me 18 points. You're then going to score for your monuments. Now, the player with the most monuments on the board will get 15 points, and the player in second place will get 7. So in this case, I'd get 15 points, and the blue player would get 7. Last but not least, you're going to score your wheat track. So my wheat track here gives me 28 points. So you add up the total, and the player with the most points is the winner. So that is Fertility. Ignore this. This was a 2018 release at Essen. I had an eye on it, but I didn't rush to it. So I'm pleased I waited. I got it at a bargain price. It's very nice. It plays very quickly, and the setup is fairly simple. It is another tile laying game, but it's also about making the best of these shop tiles and trying to get the resources for the shops, but also trying to get as many resources as you can off the board. I quite like it. It plays very quickly. What do they say 45 minutes. Now, because the turns are quick when you know what they're doing, there's not a huge amount of downtime, even if you're playing with 4 players. In fact, you can be placing your pieces as the next player places their tile. This version is Kobold and Catch-Up Games. I can't remember who released the English version, but definitely look it up. I was really pleased. This was an absolute bargain, and we've played it quite a bit for the 15 euros. It was either 14 or 16, so I'm going to go in the middle and say 15. So it was an absolute bargain for the 15 euros that I paid for it, and I'm pleased to have a copy on the shelf. It's a really nice one for the start or the end of an evening, you know, when you need to wind up or wind down before or after your big game of the evening. Fertility, believe it or not, this says Fertility. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click like, subscribe, all that stuff, share. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.